Element Fission Update 1.6.14. We have some brand new units, the Rippers, and surprise, they are not Nat 5s. They're actually Nat 4 units, which makes them at least more accessible, unless you're like me, who still cannot pull the mouse window. But we won't talk about that in this video, even though we literally just did. We also have some quality of life improvements. We have some modifications to some of the existing units as well. Let's get it started. We have the Wandering Monk. These ones are similar to the pandas from Summoners War. I'm going to keep saying that, I feel, until 6 months into the game when we all know what they do, I guess. So Sacrificial Palm, that is the third skill of the Water one. So effectively like Molong. Add effect recover HP equal to half the damage dealt upon a kill. So basically a set of vampire runes already on him as long as he actually kills something. So that is kind of nice. That's surprising that they did that. We have the Impermanence Fire. It's reworked. I wanted to see this compared to the previous version. Actually, I think we can still see in the game. Let me try to... So in the game, it says, I paused the recording. I never do that, but I pause the recording. So in the game, it says the volatile passive, the higher the speed, the higher the glancing probability. Let me put this actually on the screen, though. Probably should pause it again. Okay, here we go. Higher the speed, the higher the glancing probability when being attacked. When attacking an enemy, deal additional damage equal to 800 to 1040 of your speed, and there is a 20 to 40% chance to apply one of 3 effects for 2 turns: speed down, blind, or attack down based on the attribute relation. So then we have this change, Impermanence, higher the speed, higher glancing probability when being attacked, receiving a glancing attack, increase your action bar by 20% when applying the enemy, when attacking the enemy, additional damage equals 800% of your speed with a 10% chance. Apply blind for 2 turns. So instead of 20 going up to 40, it is now just 10%, and it is not speed down, blind, or attack down. It is just blind. And it also does attack gauge increase. So it didn't do attack gauge increase before. So that is a interesting change to the Fire one. I mean, it's still early in the game. The game's been out for not even a month yet, so I can't really say too much how I feel about this. I have fought a couple Fire Monks that I really don't remember that much, to be honest. But I thought that the passive was interesting, to say the least. Now we have the Rippers. Let me show you guys a larger version of the Rippers. Kind of looks like a robot Clockwork orange kind of thing. Also Ripper, and some people commented Jack the Ripper, that they were getting those kind of vibes. But makes sense, like a Clockwork orange plus Jack the Ripper kind of thing. Oh, we can actually see. No, I don't want to see those. I want to see that they are 4-star units. Let's make this a little bit. Are we not? Are we not going to make this? Oh, okay. Apparently it was way too zoomed in. So we can see some of the skills over here. Let's go back to the patch log, though. We have, when they're 6-starred, the Water Tree and Dark improve their Reap, which I think is their 2nd skill. No, it does look like this. Yeah, it's the 2nd skill. So this one is the 1st skill, Insidious Strikes. Boomerang has the 2nd skill for 2 of them. Reap is the 2nd skill for 3 of them. And then each one has its own 3rd skill. So 3 of them improve their 2nd skill. The Fire one gets a guild speed lead, which I think a lot of people that take guild content, you guys are already hardcore with the guild content. The game hasn't even been out a month, and people like, we have all of these. I don't know. I suppose it depends on the guild, but I was looking at some defense. I'm like, this is not. You guys are already not early game even close. So, y'all going crazy, summoning literally everything in the world. The Fire one has the speed lead, guild speed lead, which is nice. Light one has, and it's 4-star, right? Light one has a guild accuracy leader, which usually is not used. Insidious Strikes, attack the enemy 2 times. 50% chance to imply incurable. Not too exciting. Boomerang Hat, Fire and Light, 2nd skill, attack the enemy. Increase your action bar by 50%. Damage based on your speed. After using other abilities during your turn, 30% chance to automatically cast this ability, which is fun. The Reap, attack the enemy 3 times. So this is the 2nd skill for the other 3 elements. Attack the enemy 3 times. Each attack has a 60% chance to inflict mark for 2 turns. which is not bad. We have the Robot Dance Water, removes all debuffs from all allies, recover 25% HP, grants 1 stack Nullify, and a 1-turn Unyield. For the water one. So the water one gets Incurable, Mark, and Cleanse. I mean, that could be good for heavy metal. And it's a 4-star. So there we go. The fire one, skill 3, is at the start of your turn, 20% chance to remove all debuffs. Oh, this is the one that we talked about. Start of your turn, 20% chance to remove all debuffs. Gain 200% critical damage during this turn. For each debuff you have, the chance increases by 5%. So they already nerfed. It was gonna be, well, they didn't nerf it. They didn't put everything out publicly. It was just a working. Those were the skills that they were working with. 20% chance to remove all debuffs internally, skills they were working with internally and playing around with and testing. Gains 200% critical damage during this turn. For each debuff you have, the chance increases by 5%. So really not too consistent then. Additionally, your attacks will recover HP to the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 30% of the damage dealt. It looks like that's just the, so this is just the passive. And then all attacks, skill 1 and skill 2, which the skill 2 is the increase action bar, single target, one that automatically casts. So both of these, both the skill 1 and skill 2 are going to recover HP to the ally with the lowest HP by 30% of the damage dealt. Then we have the Grave Robber, the tree one. I don't think we actually saw this one previously. Damage increased based on target's missing HP, and the max HP destroyed. When defeating an enemy, you will gain stealth for 2 turns, steal 30% of the target's current attack power, and prevent the target from reviving. Interesting. Stealth for 2 turns, steal 30% of the target's attack power, and prevent from reviving. Feels like a guild content unit. But I wonder how much this actually winds up getting against certain teams, though. Niche guild content unit. That's kind of what I'm feeling. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. And then we have the light one, Killomatic. Throw random items found in your hat to attack an enemy 4 times. Cleaver, attack, inflicts defense down for 2 turns. Hammer, defense, inflicts stun for 1 turn. Flask, HP, inflicts toxic for 2 turns. And grenade, speed, deals defense ignoring damage. Higher the corresponding stat, the higher the chance to find that item. So my thought process is if it's random items found in your hat, it's not each item 1 time. It's maybe if you have crazy speed and high attack, it's going to possibly do 2 defense breaks, 2 defense ignoring damage with that multi-hit. That could be it. If you make him slower but put a crap ton of HP, he's going to do a bunch of toxic. So you can kind of gear him up. It seems like you can kind of gear him up to do whatever you want him to do. So that could be cool. It's not just a we do this and then this is how. It's not just attacking 4 times and each one is like the first one's the cleaver, second one's the hammer, third one's the flask, fourth one is the grenade, and then it scales based on that stat. Because that's initially what I thought is like it does each one of those and then the damage scales based on the stat. But the stat is just there for this is how we calculate the probability of pulling that item from the hat. So you could do all 4 defense ignoring damage. You could do, wouldn't that be nice? You got to put a crap ton of speed, I assume, on it, and then make him extremely fast and squishy. But yeah, you could also buff it too. So if you buff the speed and you make it super fast, then could be kind of nasty. I feel like this one might be actually super good. And then that one has, what second skill does that have? Damage based on your speed. Automatic increase attack bar and automatically cast this ability with a 30% chance. And then we have the Reassembly Dark one. Revive 15% HP upon death, counterattack using Reap. When you revive, increase the action bar of all allies by 15% and increase attack power by 50% and lifesteal by 10%, stacking up to 3 times. That could be a good. This kind of reminds me of like the Light Robo in Summoner's War. It's not exactly like this, but he dies, he revives and counterattacks and increases action bar. So like you die with one of your units and then your team moves next. So that could be a nice counter unit, you know? And then we can actually see over here. Probably would have been a better idea to do it like this. 60% chance to inflict mark and oblivion. Wait a second, oblivion. Did that say? Oh no. That's the buff. That's the part we don't see is the 6-star effects. When they are 6-starred, they get that oblivion. It improves the reap skill, and that is the reap. That's what this looks like. Unless I'm reading it wrong, which I always am. Because don't even at me. You're like, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And then we have the light 6-star effect, gain leader ability of the accuracy. I mean, this is all just the stuff that we already mentioned, but I'm just showing it over here. Attack the enemy 2 times, incurable. Got the mark. So this one just says the mark, though. This doesn't say oblivion. I thought they were all supposed to get the oblivion when it was... Let's see if the other ones have. Remove all debuffs. Let's see. 60% chance to inflict mark for 2 turns. So one says oblivion and the other one doesn't. Oh, no. Okay. Wait a second. The 6-star effects are different. So this one has, like, if we look at this, this has 2 reaps. We have the non-awakened, non-6-starred reap, which has a 60% chance to inflict mark for 2 turns. And then we have the 6-starred reap, which is a mark and then increase cooldown by 1 turn. And then we have 2 reaps here. So the other one, what is it? Yeah, the dark one gets the oblivion. Not everything gets the oblivion, though. One gets oblivion. And what is this one? Not this one. So this one has, this is the mark, this is the prior one. And then mark for 2 turns. Destroys target's max HP. So this is, at least has synergy with itself. Which I thought, I was reading the Grave Robber skill. I was like, this is not going to synergize with itself. You have to bring it and destroy HP. Over here, but you don't. It actually just synergizes with itself with the Grave Robber. So, what else do we have? Let's go back here. We have the Gunslinger. Water 6-star effect adjusted from increasing crit rate by 15 to increasing speed by 15. Warning shot water rework. Attack an enemy 2 times. 70% chance to remove 1 buff each time a critical hit occurs. Increase the action bar of all allies by 10%. The buff is successfully removed. Additionally, grant all allies 2 turns of speed up. I wonder if this is one where, kind of similar to Miyang in Summoner, of course, Water Sky Dancer, it's going to multi-hit, strip, increase action bar. So I feel like that's going to be a nice combination. And increase speed. So it looks like they want people to put this on super high speed on Swift. And then we have the bombman's 6-star effect is adjusted from increasing crit rate by 15 to increasing accuracy by 20. Makes sense for bombers, right? Because they're bomber type units to have better accuracy. Damage dealt increased by because like the crit rate doesn't really matter so much for bombers. Wow, logic. Not just randomness like we're used to in Summoner's War. Surprise Cake Tree, damage dealt is increased by 20%. And then we have the Ghost Captain, Ghost Ship Fleet Fire. Effect activate rate increased by 10%, which is, I believe that's the skill 3, the one that does slows and attack age decrease. Is it slow stun and attack age decrease? I can find out right now. Ghost Ship Fleet, attack all enemies 3 times. Each attack is a 30 to 40% chance to inflict 2 turns speed down. Decrease action bar by 50%. I think I just have him on stun runes. The bear. Oh my goodness. This effing bear that everyone's using in defense. It's effectively a Kinky that can crit and just wipe out entire teams. So that's fun. That's fun. When attacking an enemy with lower HP than yours, the increased critical rate is reduced by 50% to 30%. So it's a nerf, but I mean, this is kind of like people are already going ham with this thing. Then we have the Pumpkin Freak Midnight Revelry Dark HP recovery amount decreased by 5%, which I believe actually decreases the attack gauge increase for that, because that is the unit that has very high base speed. If he is 6-starred, let's take a look. Where is the thing? Okay, so this, first off, 6-starred speed plus 15, and then you get an extra 5 more from stacking it. So effectively, if it's 6-starred and stacked, it is 119 speed, which is very fast. You can grant all allies 2 turns of effect up, recover 20 to 24% HP. Additionally, increase the action bar based on the percentage of overhealing. So if it's the beginning of the team, the beginning of the match, and everything has full HP, it's just going to increase action bar and not heal anything. So it's a 119 speed attack bar booster, which is not bad, to be honest. Not bad at all. Yeah, but this way the HP decrease, oh, I took it off for me, but I didn't take it off for you. The HP decrease is actually going to decrease the attack bar boost. So you do still need to have things faster. Then we have the Roleon Mimicry Tree. Add effect after receiving attacks of the same material 4 times in a row. Counterattack using Splash, which is the AoE skill, I believe. Let's take a look at that. Somewhere. Why can I not find it? Tank Disruptor. Yeah, defense down. So, this potentially counterattacks with skill 2 Splash. And then the Toxic Protein Light they had to actually nerf because this was the most OP 3-star in the game. Toxic Protein can no longer affect units that are immune to inability. Was that a thing before? Was actually hitting units that were immune to inability? That seems like it was broken more than needing a nerf. Action bar absorption and HP recovery amount are reduced by 10%. As a 3-star crowd control and defense break role, this Elmon possesses AoE healing abilities, and his chances of stunning, defense breaking, and controlling the action bar rate have surpassed other similar 4-star characters such as Water Puppet Artist and Fire Ghost Captain. Therefore, adjustments will be made to nerf it. Probably fair. Was a very strong unit. I heard this from so many people after that tier list. I was like, okay, I'm going to put this here. It seems like it's going to be better than that. I think I put it at like whatever tier, and I put like a plus next to it, indicating that it's possibly even better than the tier that I had it at. But everyone's like, no, that's a S tier unit. That's a ridiculous unit. And everyone that got it started using it, and it was wild. So yeah, probably a necessary thing. Then we have the Clockwork, Shattering Throw Tree Dark, add effect damage increase based on your speed. Light Alloy Dark rework. So that one is similar to, the Dark Clockwork is similar to Shumar, the Dark Hellhound in Summoner's War. Increase speed by 15% by 15 for each buff possessed. After attacking, grant yourself 1 turn of speed up, and have a chance to inflict 1 turn of stun. Faster your speed, the higher the chance. For each buff possessed, because it didn't do for each buff before. So now if he's got Shield Will, I mean, the Shield Will equivalent, I forget what the Will runes are in this game, what they're called. Give me 6 months. I'll figure it out in 6 months, guys. I'll say the right words in 6 months. But potentially this could make him, like, you could have a crazy fast outspeed, whatever their fastest ATB booster on defense, and potentially stun. So faster speed, and if you make him super fast, he's gonna be able to stun. So you could use this kind of as a, you remember the Ginger Brave in Summoner's War, well, in Cookie Run Kingdom, but the Ginger Brave in Summoner's War, super fast, and then you could potentially stop their fastest attack bar. You know, I use that against Gianna a lot, but in like guild content, but this is potentially something that could work like that. Also, we have some updates. Let's see. Gear management mark feature, similar to marked Elemons, gears can now be marked. Marked gears will not be able to be sold. Marking filter. In the gear management interface, you can filter gears based on their markings. Interface during repeat battles, you can open the gear management panel. A chat widget has been added to the gear management panel. I like the repeat battles, you can open the gear management panel. I know a lot of people already want the repeat battles in the background, so you can have those repeat battles going and be doing other things, but I think that's, I don't know when they're gonna be able to do that. I'm trying to think of like all the other similar mobile turn-based RPGs and how they do the repeat battles, because it took a while for Raid to actually do something like that as well. So I suppose we'll see. It feels like it feels like this team wants to do full stack hero. Feels like they want to do things sooner rather than later. They're like, let's go. Let's try to make things better as quickly as possible and try to always be working on something new, working on new or improvements. Classic arena, the cooldown time. They really want to be a competitor to Summoner's War. They're not even playing around. Cool time for refreshing the rival list has been extended from 60 seconds to 100 seconds. What else do we have? Battle Escort. When a unit has both Invincible and Escort at the same time, damage transferred to the Protector will be reduced to 0 instead of transferring half of the original damage. Okay. I'm trying to think of how they... In Summoner's War, wasn't that the same? I don't know if I've had that... Wasn't it 0 as well? Whatever. Whatever. Doesn't really matter, does it? Not anymore. Petrification units that are petrified will be unable to trigger their passive skills. That's interesting. So potentially not be able to cleanse petrification. AI casting. Active skills that could increase action bar now have a new casting condition when an ally is under... Oh, for AI. Okay. Literally says AI casting. When an ally is under inability state, when its condition is set, the skill will prioritize casting on targets that are stunned, frozen to sleep, or petrified. Combat floating text. The activation of some built-in passive effects in active skills has been distinguished from the activation of passive skills. Some active skills contain passive effects, such as second skill of the Tree Turtle Tank or the third skill of the Fire Dr. Evil. Since these built-in passive effects cannot be nullified by Oblivion, they will no longer be displayed as skill name passive when activated, but will be adjusted to skill name trigger to avoid confusion. HP changing effect, fixing an issue where skills that change HP ratios, such as Tree Occult Dancer and Light Puppet Artist, could cause the HP percentage to be calculated as 0, resulting in the target being directly killed. Oh man, I missed that bug. Debuff changing effect, fixing the issue where some skills that convert buffs to certain debuffs could ignore debuff immunity effects. So they're talking about the Electromancers that do that. With the skill 2. Replay due to changes in Elmon tribute or skills. All battle records except Lost Tunnel will be cleared. Gasp. The battle prep... I mean, they do this in the other games as well. Battle preparation interface. Pace mode. If an Elmon is equipped with all 6 gears, the speed value will also be displayed. UI adjust. The backup bag button and support bag button will be fixed, and the first column will no longer disappear when scrolling through the Elmon list. Oh, I see what they're talking. Okay, that's nice. So it's just like locked at the top of the screen. Strategy, recent leaderboard, stable leaderboard, now renamed to recent. It only counts the formation of each player that has recently achieved repeat battles without failure for the first time. The default displayed leaderboards will be adjusted from fast to recent. White control bar at the bottom of the iPhone screen has been adjusted to an inactive state to reduce the impact on game operation. Okay, if you say so. Fix the issue with the defense placement interface in the Elite Arena did not display speed and pace mode. Fix the issue with players needed to log in again to claim rewards for purchasing item-related missions. Fix the issue where queue number was not displayed in the login queue when the server was at full capacity. Wow. I did not even know that was a thing. When players are forced to go offline due to server maintenance or other reasons, they will no longer need to re-enter their account information upon logging back. Oh, okay, that's nice. On the notice page of the inbox, there are notices related to version updates. You can click the details to preview the update login game, which is also nice. Like, all these things, they're just like, let's try to continue to... Let's always be working on things to make the game better. When enhancing in Element, if the materials list includes invalid enhancement materials, those cannot provide experience, skill levels, or stacking levels. The enhancement will be blocked. This prevents players from mistakenly using enhancement as evolution and consuming materials, as well as preventing players from accidentally inserting invalid materials and causing waste. I hate it when I accidentally insert invalid material. Anyway, that's nice as well. Nice quality of life improvements. When enhancing or evolving an Elmon, if the materials list includes Nat5 or LD Nat4, an additional prompt will be displayed. Also important, 2 brand new medals have been added, which will be awarded for completing 100 floors of normal and hard Lost Tunnel. Players who completed 100 floors before the version update will not automatically receive these medals. Oh, so they're just medals that don't really do anything. Okay. Because some of the medals... Well, I guess those are those called medals as well? When you can like see, like you complete the achievement and then you can see like of like 6-star max skills for a Nat 4 unit, and then you can see the stats. You can see the multipliers. So that's not that. So when attempting to salvage Elmons in the workshop interface, the pop-up will display all Elmons, but those that cannot be salvaged will appear grayed out. Clicking on them will prompt a message explaining the reason. Modified some text description and challenge quests that were likely to cause misunderstandings. Listen, everything causes a misunderstanding for me. Literally a sentence that says, I'm hungry and want a sandwich. I'll be like, I don't understand what that means. Fix the issue where the hitbox and model of the dungeon bosses did not match and causing misclick. Are people autoing dungeon bosses? I mean, not autoing. Manual. See, I told you, I can't even understand. It's a simple sentence. Can't even understand that. In challenge, some quests require players to obtain a certain number of items at the time of tally. These quests will be counted when claiming the mail rather than at the time of tally. Therefore, you can keep the items in the inbox until you progress to that quest. Fix the issue where an error code will pop up from certain reactors in territory battle, preventing players from attacking. 2-star wisps offering main event merchant have been adjusted from level 20 to level 1. This is because fully leveled wisps are considered unusable as materials and must be evolved before they can be used. Even if players purchase a large number of wisps, they cannot be used for auto-filling. Now, I mean, yeah, you have to still use XP to upgrade those, but at least you can make more food. Like, you could just blow through all of your XP capsules, getting those, and then I guess blow through half of your XP capsules, because then you have to use the other half to actually upgrade them. But that's actually nice. Okay. I mean, it's good and bad at the same time. You get to use them for other things, but also you lose the value out of the innate XP. And we have fixed the issue where the descriptions of buffs, buff and debuff effects would obscure the skill descriptions when viewing skills in some interface. In the Fission Catalyst choice interface, a choose later button has been added. Clicking it will temporarily close the select. Oh, that's nice. But that's not what I'm thinking of though. Because that's just Fission Catalysts. Okay. Well, hopefully they add that to the gear as well. Players must first leave their current guild in order to reset their account. In some missions, you need to reach a certain value of specific stat to complete them. Due to differences in how the client server handled floating point calculations, some players were unable to complete the quest when their stat value was exactly on the threshold. This issue has now been fixed. Fix the issue where the quest conditions for certain missions were displayed incorrectly. Continuous battle in Lost Tunnel did not check if there was enough energy when clicking to start. You can now open the daily check-in panel to view the rewards that have been claimed or to be claimed. And in light of the fact that many players misunderstand the logical relation... Hey, they're talking about me now. Wait a second. The logical relationship between challenges and challenge packages. We have optimized the animation display of the collectible items after completing a challenge. Fix the issue with the airship battle practice match where players lower than 40 could reset their attack chance by leaving and rejoining the guild. Oh. Interesting. Fix a large number of translation errors in the Russian localization thanks to the player Kotsimaru for helping us proofread the Russian localization files. I can help them proofread some of the files too. Some of them are funny. Some of them I kind of want to leave in. I'm like, no, that's correct. And you guys are like, that's not correct. That's not proper English. Like, that's funny though. If it's funny, we give it a pass. That's my logic on it. Anyway, that is the new... Did we want to see anything else? I feel like... The Rippers. Do you want to see the base stats of the Rippers? Anything super crazy? Speed 92. Nothing gets extra speed at 6 stars. Are they all speed 92? They're all speed 92. I always pay extra attention to stuff like that. Cool looking units though. Excited to see their animations. And this one actually is kind of like a Miyang. I mean, he kind of is like a Miyang. He's a Miyang. Yeah, looks pretty good. No complaint. I'm glad that they are actually 4 stars though. That's nice. So more people have access to the Jack the Ripper, the Clockwork Orange robot Rippers. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.